by the way, you're the only Max Muncy at Oakland A that I believe in, okay? I just want to point that out for sure. What is the best baseball advice you've ever received? I mean, short, sweet, like anything that kind of just comes back into your head when you need something?
To have fun. Just remember why you play the game. It's to have fun. And, you know, for me, I have a couple more reasons why I'm playing this game now. You know, my family, my kids. You know, that's something that, you know, I have their names on the back of my glove, and I'm always rubbing that to remind myself they're why I'm playing this game, to have fun. And, you know, for me, that was the biggest thing that changed for me, was just find a way to have fun out on the field any way you can. You know, there's always something you can do to help the team win, but if you're not having fun while you're out there, then what's the whole point? And so for me, that was the biggest piece of advice that I've ever gotten and that I ever give to anybody.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of fun to face you on the mound right now. I just want to point that out. Now, got to ask you about Shohei Ohtani. I'm always asked, I get some time in the clubhouse, time on the field, like, what's he really like? When you're asked that question, what's Shohei Ohtani like as a teammate? Kind of what's he like when no one's around? I mean, how would you kind of describe him? Here he comes right here.
He's awesome. He's a lot of fun. You know, he loves to joke around. He likes to play little pranks on everybody, and you know, he's always smiling and laughing, having a good time. And the best way that I describe him to everybody is like when you were like 10, 11 years old, there was always that guy you played with that you swore was like 16. He was just so much better than everybody. That's how he feels. He's just a little kid that's just better than everybody else out there. And you know, he has so much fun with everything that he does. And you know, our meetings, the you know, the plane flights, the bus rides, he's always just cracking jokes, and it's just it's fun to be around a guy like that, to, you know, to be such a global superstar and to realize, you know, just how humble he is and how lighthearted he is, and just, you know, how much fun he loves to have everybody.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, you see he's the only guy that says hello to the umpire every inning, right? Every time he has an at bat. But then also, you saw the what he did when you guys hit the home run against the Diamondbacks with Gurriel. I mean, was that a little troll job? I mean, he's got that dog in him, I feel like. It's almost the dog comes down those big moments.
I have no idea on that one, you know. That's I don't know that any of us have ever actually talked to him about it. My honest guess is he wasn't trying to troll him. He was just, you know, celebrating that moment at that time. You know, there was a lot of talk about him not getting the job done with runners in scoring position at that moment. And so I think for him to come through with that big home run, it was kind of like, yes, I'm doing it, even though we all knew he was going to anyways. It's not like that was ever a question. So I don't think he was trying to troll him.
Yeah, no, it was coincidence, right? But here with the great Max Muncy, a couple more here. I want to ask you, I'm always asked you, like, who's the leader of the Dodgers, the clubhouse leader? For me, I mean, it feels like all you guys are professionals, all you guys are stars, superstars. I mean, but is there, like, if any type of rah-rah guy, if you need a moment, you need a speech or anything like that, like, who would that guy be? A lot of people would say you, right?
It's hard to single out one person. Yeah. There's just so many guys that, you know, lead in their own way, and I think that's what makes the clubhouse so complete, is, you know, you have so many different guys that can do things differently. And I was just talking about Mookie, and, you know, Mookie's one of those guys that's always leading on the field, trying to help out guys. You know, someone was asking me what he was talking to me about in the infield, and, you know, he's just trying to spread any knowledge that he has, you know, whether it's hitting, whether it's on defense, whether it's base running. He's always trying to give knowledge to everybody to make himself better, and so that's how he leads. And then you have a guy like Miggy Rowe, who is very vocal in the clubhouse and keeping everybody positive, and, you know, that's what he does so well, is he loves to have fun and joke around with people, but he's also very good at keeping everyone positive. And so there's so many different guys that, you know, lead in their own way, and that's why it's so hard to pinpoint one guy on the team.
Was there any moment during the 2024 run that stands out as far as just a moment that kind of brought you guys together to kind of go and have that run?
For me, I'm always going to say, you know, how special it was that the players took control of how the team was going to, you know, be ran. And that was something that started during our last series of the year in Colorado. You know, a bunch of us got together and we talked, and we said, this is how we want to do things this year. This is how we want to handle the 5 days off for the bye. This is how we want to handle the travel. This is how we want to handle the hotel situations. This is how we want to handle what we're doing on the off days. And for the players to come together, meet like that, and then go to the front office and say, this is how we're going to do things this year, and not even question, just this is how we're going to do things, and for them to be like, sounds great. To me, that's the thing that I'm gonna take away the most, is just the players taking over the team and saying, this is what we're gonna do, and when we do it, we're gonna win, and that's how it worked out.
And do you feel that same closeness on this team? And then also want to ask you, you guys have a chance to do something that has been done in a long time. That's go back to back. Now, the standard here is always to win a World Series, but is that something that you kind of lean into? Like, this is a team that people could talk about forever because of the opportunity that you have to do something that hasn't been done in a long time.
Repeating is repeating in baseball is one of the hardest things I think there is to do in sports. It's just, we talk about it all the time. When you play deep into October and November, the body doesn't have time to heal, and you deal with a lot of injuries. And we've already seen that as it is, but you see it with other teams all the time. The first time they make it to the playoffs, they all break in half the next year. And when you have to go to the playoffs every single year like we've done, it really takes a toll on your body, and that's why repeating is such a hard thing to do. And for us, we know the depth we have, we know the team we have, and that's one of those things where even though when we go through a couple bad stretches, no one in the clubhouse falters. We all know what we have, we all know where we're going to be at the end, and it's one of those things where you just kind of weather the storm, and when things start rolling well, you're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Awesome. We got Max Muncy here. A couple quick ones on the way out. Okay, you guys are on the road, expensive dinner. Which teammate is most likely to pick up that bill?
We usually spread those around.
Venmoing, Zelling?
No, there's usually not one guy. There's a lot of guys on this team making money, so whenever we go out to dinner, it's usually split, and each dinner is usually different guys.
All right, bar fight. You're picking two of your teammates. Who you picking? Tab your back.
Do they have to be active right now?
No, you go back.
Well, Zooks is in there.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'll take Gratterall, and then oh man. I'm gonna go wild one, and I'm gonna pick Comet. I feel like he'd have some quick skills to
Quadzilla, right?
Get in and out. Be quick on people, get behind them. I feel like he'd be a good one.
Which Dodger teammate would be your emergency contact?
Either Freddie or Kirsch, probably. We got a lot of kids. They know how to handle things.
Love that one. Okay, where are your World Series rings?
I'm gonna keep that information private, but they're in a good spot.
Why'd you choose 13?
That's always a funny story. When I signed over here at the Dodgers and they put me in OKC, they asked me to pick a uniform, and in the minor leagues you recycle uniforms every year, and they maybe get a new uniform once every 5 years or so. And so when I got over there, the club he was talking to me said we had like 7 and 13 and 20 or something like that. He goes, well, no one's ever worn 13. I said, well, I'll take 13 then. It was the cleanest jersey at the time, and I had a really good year, and so I just kept it the next year going into spring.
Iconic. Okay, what's your favorite team celebration throughout the years? You got the Shohei right now with this. You got the Trey. I mean, there's so many to choose from, but do you have a favorite? Freddie?
The Freddie dance is hard to beat. Just because the origin of it.
Gone through multiple seasons too.
Yeah, just the origin of it, how it came about, how it stuck, and it's always fun to see which guys really get into it out there.
Awesome. So last thing here, we're gonna go see how well you know your Dodgers teammates. As kids, Father's Day is coming up in a couple weeks. Who's that?
That's Freddie.
Really? That's pretty quick by you. That is. You're right. All right.
Conforto. I feel like that's gonna be Shohei.
Boom.
Mookie.
Look at the stance.
Yeah, it's the exact same. Oh man, St. Mary's. Gonsolin?
Yep. There you go.
That's Kirsch and Stafford.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you know that? It's a fun fact, and it's a little known fact.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows that one yet. Yoshi?
Yep.
Eulis, so that's going to be Dustin May. Tommy? No.
Pitcher.
Rookie.
Boom.
That's Tommy.
That's Tommy, yeah. This is an easy one.
Blake.
Yeah, that one. Oh, here we go. A little tougher.
Will.
Oh, man, you're undefeated.
Yeah, that's me.
Just last thing I want to say, though.
If you don't want me to watch the ball, you can go get it out of the ocean.
Last question here. What would current Max Muncy say to this version of Max Muncy, knowing that you're a 2-time World Series champion, a 2-time All-Star, and you made all your baseball dreams come true?
Always believe in yourself and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
There he is, the great Max Muncy. Be there June 12th. Of all the information. You have to go. Auctions, live entertainment. Teammates going to be there. The great Max Muncy, certified Dodgers legend. Join us here on Dodgers Dugout Live.